Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 606. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinsod,
Ahoy!
and Tony Korkanakis.
Yo.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers on Twitch, streaming live Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock. Please join us. Welcome to the Gamecast. So, guys, what have we been up to? I would kick us off, Tony. I think I know.
Yeah, I mean, everybody should know, but Xenoblade Chronicles.
3!
Yeah, 3. Came out on Friday, so. Been plugging away at that. Put in, I'd say, like 10, 11 hours so far. I'm on vacation this week, so.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That is my staycation.
Was that planned?
No, it was kind of fortuitous, though, because, like, my manager poked me, and she was like, hey, you're approaching your PTO cap. You should probably take some time off, and, I mean, honestly, just take a chunk of it so you don't have to keep worrying about this. And I was like, okay, and I looked, and I was like, well, a week after Xenoblade is free, so kind of was serendipitous. So did that. But
and it sounds like you're going to need that week, because it's a long-ass game.
oh my god. No, it is.
Corey, you playing this too?
No, not 3. I
didn't know if you could join it. But go on, Tony. Go on.
No, it's fine. So like I said, I'm like 11 hours in, which is like a good chunk of time for like any game, but like I feel like I'm still just scratching the surface. Like I'm just like Xenoblade 2. Like I'm still getting tutorials like every couple minutes. I'm just like, wait, what is the new system? And I'm just like, it's so insane. This one especially because like I was walking into this one like, oh, you know, I've handled a couple Xenoblade games under my belt now. Like this should be fine. And like now they just introduced something else. I'm like, wait a second. So I can do what now? And I'm just like, kind of like racking my brain. I'm like, wait, does this make sense to me? Like I don't even know, and I'm just hitting buttons. I'm like, I guess we'll see how it goes, and I'll learn at some point and stuff like that. But it's really good. It really kicks off right at the beginning. It doesn't spend too much time before just getting right into the plot of the game and setting all the characters on a journey together and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's more Xenoblade. Voice acting is good. Both English and Japanese. I've been flipping between them every chapter, kind of like what I did with Persona, just to get both experiences there and stuff like that. Looks better than 2. 2's performance as a launch title for near launch title for the Switch, kind of showed a little bit of the rough edges there and stuff like that. But this is a lot better. Still not perfect, but Digital Foundry watched their analysis. They're like, yeah, it utilizes some technology that it's like, hey, if a better, more powerful Switch existed, this will look better automatically. You don't have to do anything. And it's like, that's weird, right? Like, yeah, it is weird. So, we'll see what the coming months have to say about that. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. Probably get back to it after the podcast for a bit and stuff like that and see how far I can get this week.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Corey, what have you been playing? You're muted.
Can't hear you, bud.
You're muted. On this.
Yeah, so apparently. I've been chipping away at the original on the Switch because obviously it's been harder to get and play elsewhere. But I have not made much progress on it because I don't know if we have this in the news, but Steam said that they're going to be getting a lot more Steam Decks out in the world. And I was like, you know what? I have one here that I was thinking of getting rid of, but if I'm not going to, like, I'm just going to keep it. And so I got a Steam Deck right here. I've been playing it and been tinkering with it. And I have to say, this is probably the most fun I've had with a new console since the 360. This is amazing.
Really?
I am blown away by this thing. Like it is like it when we made fun of how it looked, the controls and everything. It feels amazing to hold. Like it's got buttons on the back. It's got triggers. It's got bumpers. It's got the touch pads here. These are capacitive joysticks, so you can activate gyro just by putting your thumb on the joystick, and you have like a huge Steam library. Like talking about like backwards compatible and stuff like that. This is built out of the box. It's a PC. It's a PC in your hand, and I can't believe how amazing this thing has like turned out to be because for like you can get one for like $400 and have like a really good gaming PC essentially. and play pretty much anything. And obviously, you know, I had to put. I guess you can't see with my background, but Borderlands 3 is on there.
Of course, yeah.
124 gigabytes of it is on here, and it plays great. I can play it at 60 frames a second, which will kill my battery in an hour and a half. But you can do it.
You can do it.
The other amazing thing about it, which is even like I just went down a rabbit hole on this thing, and let's see. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the emulation on this thing is ridiculous. You essentially have a handheld, like whatever console you want, and so I have all of my Saturn games. I guess
No way. They actually work okay?
all Saturn games, and obviously
the
first one I had to put on here. You know,
interest is peaked. Oh, I know which one, but my interest is like.
So it's just
Wow.
I don't know if it'll load on here, but the other thing is you can get the So this is I have to. It's dropping my stuff down to 40 frames a second. I gotta put it all up to 60 on Saturn games, otherwise it gets all messed up.
All wonky.
Yep. But you can just display all of your stats and everything as well. So like, I can display all the stats up here, and this is obviously my second favorite game of all time, Dragon Force.
Yeah.
And it just runs perfect.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow, I need this. I need this.
Like not just Saturn, I have Dreamcast stuff, like all my Dreamcast games that I had. And you can just like if you got the discs, you can create
your own ROMs, yeah.
Yeah. And
this.
it's amazing. It's like I said, I just went down this huge rabbit hole of emulation. And so I have like all my Saturn games. This is crazy. And it's a gaming PC, so I have all my Steam library that's verified games that are on there. And there's a lot of stuff that's not verified, but
still runs. Yeah.
Most of the stuff is playable, even if it's not verified. You just have to do a little tweaking. But this is a crazy device because it is just a PC. I mean, we talk about how PlayStations and Xbox are just becoming PCs. They're just more PC. Oh. This is literally a PC. It's just running off of Linux, and so you can just go into a desktop mode and just do everything as a desktop and use it as a desktop. And if you can get a dock, you can just basically plug it in. You can get it can just go off to another computer or TV. And like I said, it is a top of line gaming system. Like it's running high-end AAA titles. You know, I think the big one that they were talking about, Elden Ring, like they did a lot of work on that specifically to get it to run on the Steamdeck really well. And it just works, which is what's amazing. And so, like I was saying, this rabbit hole I went down. It was crazy. And like you can get Nintendo DS games, you can get 3DS games. You know, there's Xenoblade Chronicles.
That's like specific to it. That's like
you can do it, and it upgrades it. I mean, it upgrades
the Steam Deck can do all of this. This is
it is really crazy. And so
I'm so intrigued. This is amazing.
Yeah,
I just priced
one thing I would say, like the controls is what was really like how it looked. It just did not look comfortable, but it's so much more comfortable than I thought it was going to be. And that's mostly because like if you look at the Switch, the back is flat on the Switch, but on the Steam Deck you have grips, and then you have the triggers on the back, like the Elite controller. Yeah. And so like you're not having to take your thumbs off the sticks to hit these buttons back here, and it just feels really good. Like I said, I'm just so impressed with this thing, and it's like I said, it's a PC, so like you're running Linux. If you know Linux, it's just a little different, but it's just you can do whatever you want on it, and it's just I'm blown away by this thing. I am highly like super impressed, and I'd highly recommend it for anybody. You get the 64 gigabit version because you can just put a micro SD card in. Oh yeah, you can just plug it in, and it's well, just like the Switch, you can expand the storage.
Yeah, it's weird what happens when you make affordable storage.
Yeah, and so like if you go 64, costs you $400. You get a terabyte SSD.
Man, you're golden.
For like $150, which puts you up to $550, and you're already at double the the highest end one, which was and it's cheaper. It's cheaper than that because $650 for the high end, and it'll cost you, well, it costs you $550 for a terabyte Steamdeck, which is I'm just so impressed. I can't believe how well it works. Like I said, I'm playing Borderlands 3 on this thing, lying in bed, like it's amazing.
That's awesome to hear. Like wow. Yeah. I mean, that might be the next must purchase. Forget a PS5 for me.
So you selling your Switch now?
It's a family machine, man. What are you talking about? It's no, like my boys.
Okay.
My boys use this thing way more than I do because of the you know, Nickelodeon game. But yeah, no, everything, and what's cool is like you can curate the store to show you the Steamdeck verified stuff.
Yeah.
And then you can see you can tell if it will play or not. But like I said, there are games on there that they're unverified, but that doesn't mean they won't play. You just have to. There's a couple of things that you have to kind of use these special launchers, and then you do that, you can do it. And people like throw Windows on there. You can load Windows onto a micro SD and just plug that in, and then you can boot into Windows.
Gamecast.
Load up. You
do Game Pass on
Battle.net.
Yeah.
You can do Battle.net. Yeah, you can. Xbox has a page to get Game Pass online working on here. They have a FAQ for it. You can get Epic Game Store on this thing if you wanted. You can get like the GOG store. It's just like I said, I was just going down this rabbit hole because again, it's just a PC, so
flexibility though is
to run on
so
Linux,
nice.
It'll run on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Like this is the ultimate flexibility. Like that is so awesome.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I just got.
Wow.
Wow. It's just such a cool device. Like, and Steam's like hardware. They make good hardware. Like it's.
Do they?
Like the Steam, this thing is really good, and like apparently like their VR set is really good too. So I don't know. I'm just talking about Steam controllers. I mean, Steam controllers supposed to be fairly good.
That was hardware. That's just my concern. Is like if I look back, they had like the Steam Link, they had the Steam controller, other things, or it's like okay, yeah, it gets buzzed for a little bit and then goes away. But I think this thing definitely has more staying power.
Those are definitely more like this. This is what the Steam boxes wanted to be. Like they wanted to bring PC to the masses, PC gaming to the masses, without having to worry about updating drivers, loading all these different things. This you turn it on, you have your Steam library. It says, "Do you want to install?" You install it, and then it'll play. You don't have to do anything special, and that's what's amazing. It's just it's really really cool. So very excited for the future of it because they're constantly learning, like updating it. Firmwares and software updates, because when it first came out through, the beginning of the year, there were a lot of these little tweaks to it that, just needed to get ironed out, and they're starting to do that now, which is, 6 months later, but still, it's still in the first wave of pre-orders, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the quarter 1, quarter 2, like this is a quarter 3 version. And apparently some of the hardware is a little different also in quarter 3, which they improved upon slightly.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, no.
That always works with chipsets. Like you can find stuff that runs a little cooler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's happened.
They did change the fans a little bit.
Yep.
And I have to say, like this thing's, the heat's all in the center, so like your hands are not anywhere close to where it gets hot.
Cool.
It's pretty crazy. Like I said, I'm so impressed by it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Nice. Wow. That was an unexpected segment of the Steam Deck promotions that we just, Anyways, Mike, what have you been playing?
I finished up Disco Elysium. I continued that.
What's the length of that game?
It's hard to say really because so much is optional, and you can sort of skip large chunks of the game if you want to, or if you get lucky and pass a certain check. But I would say, I don't know, it's like maybe 20 hours. Okay. It doesn't feel like short, but it's definitely not like, one of those big open world things that will take you like 60 to 100 hours. It's not going to do that. There's actually a relatively small area to explore when you think about it, but it's okay because you're reading so much. It's very much a visual novel, to the point where like stuff will happen and you'll get a very small indication of it on screen graphically, but most of it will be written out as a description, like what's happening in more detail. But it's a fun it's very funny, and obviously it's one of those games that got a bunch of 10s when it came out. And usually when something gets a bunch of 10s, it might not be a 10 for me, but I understand it, and this is one where I understand it. This one has it's just basically like
Oscar bait style 10.
no. This is, I mean, the story is interesting. It's very, cerebral, and you get into like the socio-political like detail and of like the world they built here, in addition to like a lot of psychological and like philosophical things. But at the core, you're a drunk cop who's sad, basically, and you're talking to your own parts of your mind most of the game. And so it's interesting, and I got a decent ending. And then I went back and replayed the end game again and got a slightly different version of the same ending. I didn't go back far enough to sort of change a whole lot, but stuff did vary a bit. I don't know. It just seems like the if you like those old school point and click games and you wanted like this is what I sort of want from a lot of these retro style games that come out. This is an old school style point and click game, but using like modern technology to actually have many permutations and many sorts of options for how you can do certain checks and skills, and just like have it a much denser, higher option version of that same thing, rather than just make it like, I don't know, graphically better, which is what normally happens. Or I don't know. So I really enjoyed it, but there's not a whole lot to it if you don't like the idea of just playing through like a text, and it's all voice acted now in the Final Cut as well. It's a text heavy sort of adventure game type thing. But no, it's fun, but you got to think a little bit, and the game judges you a little bit too, which is funny, because I chose. Sometimes I just choose things to be funny, and like if you say something rude to someone, I tend to choose it. But in the end, despite basically getting a goodish ending, my partner called me a woman-hating far-right fascist. So I'm like, oh, okay. I guess those are the ones I chose, which is funny to me, because there's lots of different things you can end up being by like just saying things. It's like, I'm sorry, I just chose the ones where he said whore a lot. So whatever.
Okay.
So
We'll do it.
All right. Yep. All right.
But no, it's a very funny game too. I found it very fun.
I was very tempted, by the way, to pick that up on Steam to play on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I was like,
It was a good one for
I
that.
gotta get through this other game first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Stop playing
most of what I've been
Borderlands. God damn, dude.
All the time.
You know
gotta
what
play
I
those-
was gonna do on a new console if Borderlands is on it?
Yeah.
gotta play
try
Saturn games,
it
man.
out.
The hell
That's
was-
fine, but fuck.
I
Hell
was
is-
just trying it. I wasn't like.
You
so
said I've been laying
deep
in bed playing Borderlands every night since I've gotten my Steam Deck.
Man, he's got Dragon Force to play. What are you talking about? Play
Yeah.
Dragon Force, man.
I know.
Wayne.
No,
Come on.
man. Sure on.
Yeah.
King
Come
of
on.
Tristan.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, anyways, let's move on to the news here. Got a couple of things here let's kick it off with Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is getting a Wave 2 of the Booster Cord Pass, right? Yep. So this is free content for Switch Online expansion pack members.
Yes.
So what we got here, Tony?
2 new cups, total of 8 courses. Let's see. The list here is New York.
Mario Kart 8 to new heights.
Yep.
So yeah.
New York Minute, which is from Mario Kart Tour, the mobile game. We have Mario Circuit 3 from the SNES Mario Kart game. Calamari Desert from N64, and fan favorite and my personal hype for this batch is Waluigi Pinball, which originated on DS, but I think was ported to a couple other versions too.
Oh, nice.
Then we have the Propeller Cup, which is Sydney Spring, which is from Tour, Snowland from GBA, Mushroom Gorge from the Wii, and an all-new brand track called Sky High Sunday. So, launches this Thursday.
Cool.
And again, I think it's like either $25-ish if you want to buy the whole pack of 6 or 8 or whatever the hell it's going to be, stuff like that. Or just subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online. You get it all for free. So
Yeah,
I'll be right back, guys.
All right. We move into the Call of Duty news as well. Call of Duty is losing millions of its everyday players, right? The subscription stuff. So
monthly active users, which is what they...
Yeah, monthly active users. So in the past 12 months, the active users have dipped from 127 million down to 94 million. For a while we've talked about this franchise losing its steam, and it's maybe is this following suit? Is this it? This is the fall of the annual Call of Duties. Are we gonna move away maybe?
Well, no. I mean, well, we already know that after this Call of Duty, there's nothing for next year. They're taking a little bit of a longer break in between them. This is
how good things can happen when that happens, you know.
But I do think not everything can't stay on top forever, and I think Call of Duty, even though it will still be, don't get me wrong, it's still going to be popular. Most games would kill to have 94 million monthly active users and stuff like that.
Well, 127 or something like that at one point.
127 last year.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah,
but for Activision Blizzard, / Microsoft, by this time next year, you want to show growth. You want to show that your franchise is still growing and still reaching out to players, which is why they made Call of Duty Mobile and stuff like that. And doing promotions and stuff like that. So I mean, I think this is a bigger blow than we might expect. I don't think I posted it, but the game industry overall, I think we talked about it a little bit with the NPD. It's down overall, and that's to be expected because it's a combination of, even though COVID isn't officially over, apparently most of the country, if not the world, has decided it's okay to go back to normal
and ignore it and start doing things.
Right, so people aren't staying at home as much as they have been the past 2 years. Which means they're not playing as many video games as they have in the past 2 years, or prioritizing as much as they have in the past 2 years. Second, you have inflation, rising costs, with just everything across the board, and spending on video games lowers. So for this part, obviously number one applies, but number two doesn't, because Call of Duty, at least Warzone, is free to play and stuff like that. But I just think it's showing a little sign of weakness for the brand. I do expect it to be up after this release because it's Modern Warfare 2, which is one of the most popular entries in the series. So expect a lot of news in November, December saying, oh, look, Modern Warfare 2 breaking records, setting new heights and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, well, the real test is going to be a year out from that, or 2 years out from that, when we go without an entire Call of Duty in the retail cycle and stuff like that. But I mean,
Overwatch is going free to play also. So
right, and that that's what it is. Whenever I talk about any one of these first-person shooters, the market is just so saturated. You have your pick. You have your pick of the litter. Like if you're like a new gamer, like 10, 12, whatever, and you just got a console, or a PC, a Steamdeck, whatever, it's like, man, I want to play a first-person shooter with all my friends. I don't know, which ones can I play? It's like, oh, okay, well, you can play Call of Duty, you could play Valorant, you could play Overwatch, you could play Fortnite, you could play Apex Legends. Like, you have your pick of the litter, and you don't have to pay for any of those. Any of those. Can you imagine, like, for us, like, imagine being like, oh, do I want to play GoldenEye, or do I want to play Perfect Dark? Like, we didn't have that many options, like Doom, I guess, or Quake, or something like that, but we had to pay for those games, nobody really had those games unless it was just something that everybody just universally agreed upon, which is, GoldenEye was one of them. So it's just market saturation, market competition, and as much as we like to dunk on Fortnite, I mean, man, it's still popular. It's still going on every single time. Like I used to call Ubisoft the kings of games as a service content, but Epic, I think, just stole that crown from them. Fortnite.
Yeah, it's one game too. You're playing like movie trailers and concerts in your game, like real concerts and real.
Yeah, like actual
trailers.
Celebrities, Or
when that's happening, you've leveled up the.
And apparently
the content.
The next big promotion, because they just had Star Wars this past season, like Darth Vader was in it, and apparently the next big crossover is going to be Dragon Ball Z. So.
It's just huge.
You're right, it's gonna be huge. So you just keep ways, and well, I mean, what can Call of Duty has already tried anime. They tried Godzilla. They've tried Attack on Titan. I think Terminator's next. Yes. So I mean, they're trying it. Like, all these franchises are trying whatever they can to attract people. And I get it. Yes. I get it. You gotta try to draw those people.
They want that
and there's only so many hours in the day. So many.
And that's my biggest gripe. And I'm Mike. I know. I think you've mentioned it before, but like the battle passes, like where it's just designed to like make you waste as much time of a day to like get those dailies on, and I hate it because it's like, I want to play other games, man. Like I like playing your game, but like maybe for 30 minutes a day or something like that. I don't want to spend an hour or 2 hours every single day of my life to progress something that, you know, you tell me is limited, you know, and stuff like that. Like, sure, maybe 5 years ago I'd be like, all right, I'll play this, like League of Legends, something like that. Today I'm just like, man, if you're not going to give it to me in a reasonable, you know, time frame with reasonable hours, and you're not going to let me buy it, I'm just not going to play it. Like that's where I am these days. Just too much competition. That's where we are.
All right. Let's see. Diablo Immortal mobile, talking to Activision Blizzard still, surpasses 100 million in revenue.
Oof.
Yeah, turns out people did have
Somehow.
cell phones. Somehow.
Yeah. They
You know,
still the
Blizzard
mobile
can just
game.
be
The
like,
mobile
"Fuck
games.
You guys, we
Fucking
were right.
games,
Like,
man.
sucks. You know, all those people that complained did not care.
Yeah.
Either they didn't care, the brand is just strong enough where it can take that kind of hit.
Mhm.
Probably a mix of both. You know, I would
Yeah,
think.
I mean, you get the whales, I'm sure, too, which help, but
The thing is, I don't even
not
care.
100 million.
Right. The thing is, I don't even care about. I don't. I could not care any less for Diablo at the moment as a brand. But the reaction to Immortal's announcement was like the biggest piece of shit thing I've ever seen. Like, it was like, where the guy with the red shirt is like, "Are you serious?" And it's like, what? Are they serious about bringing a popular franchise to mobile like they've already done before? Like the entire brand parent company is trying to do
It's
Call
really
of Duty.
well on the mobile. Like,
Right. Like
What,
that type of game.
What percentage of the people you think playing it on mobile are actually those same fans, though? Do you think it's a lot of, you know, because the whole idea of the
I know.
mobile market is it's very casual at first, and someone
Yeah,
be
I
like,
know
"Oh,
people
this
that-
sounds like a game I've heard of. Let's see this. This sounds like a real game. Let me play this for free."
So it's a
No.
good question. It's a good question, Mike. And just for context, this is all from Sensor Tower, which is a mobile aggregate where they get data and publish data based on whatnot. So weeks to their chart that they published for this was how many weeks it took for mobile games to reach $100 million in revenue and stuff like that. So and the ones they use specifically. Final Fantasy 15: A New Empire took 22 weeks to reach $100 million. That's number 5. Number 4 is Fortnite, which took 12 weeks to reach $100 million in revenue. Number 3 was Fire Emblem Heroes, which took 10 weeks. And number 2 was Diablo Immortal, which only took 8. The only game that reached it faster, according to them, or at least the chart, was Pokemon Go, which only took 2 weeks. So... I'm not saying every Diablo player is playing it, but certainly we have a lot of people that were, boycotting it and saying fuck Blizzard. And now that the game is out, they're like, I can't let my friends know I downloaded this game.
Yeah.
I'm playing it secretly. I can never let them see my cell phone. It's just,
Yep.
And that's what it is.
Yep.
Like it's just stupid outcry, and I get it. I totally get it. They absolutely 100% at that time should have been, guys. We are working on Diablo 4. Trust us, we don't have anything to show you. We are working on it. It is being actively made. But until then, we have a separate Diablo game for new and old fans alike on mobile called Diablo Immortal. If they just had that absolutely would have changed the messaging and the tone and controlled it a bit better rather than having an announcement and then having some schmuck neckbeard go, "Are you serious?" And then the response from a developer that isn't trained to be... PR going, "Don't you have a cell phone? Like, wouldn't you want to play this game? Like, it doesn't cost you anything." So, whatever. Fuck the haters. Fuck Blizzard too, though. I don't really care.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. PS5 has shipped 21.7 million units as of June 2022.
A lot of units.
Yeah.
It is a lot of
Considering
units.
the shortage.
Considering that they're never like
Could
available.
have been more,
They're
I
not
was in-
retail
and it
stores.
could have been so much more. But
I was in Western
Oh, they're
Pennsylvania, and guess what was in the Target stores?
Really?
Yeah. So there was 2 PS5s and 2 Xboxes
Wow.
in the stores in
Wow.
Western Pennsylvania. That was out in Altoona,
Because
Pennsylvania.
nobody lives out there.
No, but they were there. They were on the. It was a busy store.
they
It was
don't
a
know
very
about
nice-
those Vidya games out there.
Beautiful new Target that was built out there, and I gotta say, we just walked past the gaming section. I was like double taked. I'm like, wait a minute.
What did I
I was
just
like, maybe I
see?
should.
Pictures
like, maybe I should
didn't
fix
happen, Jim.
I should have taken a picture. Oh, I should have
You
taken
didn't take
pictures.
a picture?
No, there was 2 PS5s. One was digital, and then same thing on the Xbox. One was the S, and one was the X. So it was the same idea. They're both one digital, one with the disc. They had one of each. I'm wondering if that's what they just. Maybe I just timed it right. They just got them.
Well, I mean, the fact that they're even in stores is a good sign because
Yeah, I was gonna say
for the past 2 years, you've only been able to get them online. Like GameStop, I've always asked just out of curiosity. They're just like, you can only get it online right now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's good, but this is bad news for Sony. Obviously, not surprise here, but it is trailing behind the PS4 now, which is unfortunate, and it will impact, I think, the long-term results here. For the PS5 unless they really get aggressive with manufacturing and pricing, but I don't see that because actually it's a separate article, but this
rumor has
it that they're actually thinking about increasing the price of the PS5 in certain territories because of component cost increases, shipping increases, and stuff like that. And in my opinion, my personal opinion, like I said, I've been just curious, when I'm at work or something like that, and I see Wire64 tweeting like, "Hey, PlayStation 5Q is available right now on PlayStation Direct," or whatever like that. I'll be like, oh, you know what? It's kind of a fun minigame. I'm just like, can I get one today? If I really wanted a PS5, could I get it today? So I just do a CAPTCHA, click, enter the queue and stuff like that. And I've gotten in a lot of times. And even like the past week actually has been really nice where it's like, Wire64 has said, if you want one, you can get one right now. There's no queue. Like, just log in. They're available. But it's all the Horizon
bundles.
For Forbidden West. It's all the Horizon bundles, which is $50 more expensive. So I think that is what they're doing because they've already paid for Horizon, a couple years ago in terms of like budgeting and stuff like that. But now they're like, oh, well, if we include this game, it's, we can justify $50 extra from the customer, because they're getting
a deal.
Right, they're getting value. It's like, hey, you save $20, even though we already paid for, even though we already paid for this game and stuff like that. It's not like,
It'll probably be $20 in the year.
Exactly. That's how Sony is. So that's unfortunate. Let's see. The other thing is, as of this quarter, Sony has stopped reporting PS4 unit sales, which seems to indicate that is done completely. Do not expect to see many PS4s out in the wild going forward. And that would put their final tally at 117 million units, which is very impressive. Yeah. And a huge growth from the PS3.
They can thank Xbox for forcing digital on people before they were ready.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because you look at that now and it's like, that's where I want to be.
Yeah. And then, the other thing is PlayStation profits are down 30% year over year, which is kind of like this thing. I mean, Microsoft had their one, but they obfuscate their numbers a little bit more because it's including like the gaming and Office division or something stupid. It's like, how are you combining gaming with Microsoft Office? I don't know. It's weird. And then they'll take a big hit next quarter too because that's when the big Bungie acquisition will happen there. So a little bit of a financial rough year for Sony. Nintendo should be publishing their own investor relation tomorrow. Probably expecting profits to be down as well there, just across the board.
I wonder if we get a PS5 Pro before we get a Switch Pro.
That is a bet. That is a bet.
I hope not.
I don't think so.
Here's the thing. Going back to that PS5 thing, I could absolutely see Sony now being like, fuck the base PS5, we're rushing to the PS5 Pro, and we're launching at $599 next year.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them talking about it this, winter holiday or something. They've gone through. They got 20 million consoles out there, and it's just we're going to be in year 3. It's like
year 3. That's when you would see that. That's when you would see the Pro.
Yeah.
We talked about.
You don't feel. It doesn't feel like a year 3 since they're.
No, because there's no PS5.
Right, because there's no PS5.
Yeah, yes, and they're still releasing PS4 versions of most of their games with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I would not be surprised if that happens.
I absolutely see it happening. We'll see.
All right. Lastly, we have the article about Grand Theft Auto 6 having a female protagonist mixed in as well as a choice to play through, like a Bonnie and Clyde style. So there's a whole article about how Rockstar Games has kind of overhauled their image after the issues they had. And this kind of coincides with that, where they're going to create a game that's more inclusive of people, and it's kudos to them that they can make a change.
Well, it's more than that. I know I linked the article. It was pretty long, so if you guys
Schreier
it was
piece,
it was a
right?
Schreier piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have it up, but basically after his I don't want to say it's solely because of him, but certainly Schreier absolutely helped push the public agenda forward. But the article even starts out in the summer of 2020. After George Floyd was killed by a police officer, Rockstar wound up shelving a mode of play it had planned for Grand Theft Auto Online called Cops and Crooks. Which they just were like, you know what, let's not do this.
Probably not a good time
stuff like that.
for this.
But it's one of those more politically sensitive actions Rockstar, division of Take-Two, blah blah blah, has taken in recent years. They even wound up removing transphobic jokes from some of the GTA 5 and other, I think, the ports for the trilogy from the PS2 and stuff like that. But then they also apparently cleaned up in-house, fired a bunch of managers and other leaders that were toxic at the workplace, and promoted the boys club culture and stuff like that. So for the past 2 years, apparently Jason Schreier followed up with some of his contacts, and he said the majority of them actually believe that the company is changing for the better and are excited and more enthusiastic than ever to be working on the games they are. So very rare to see. Very rare to see.
Absolutely.
When you have
Very happy
employees working on something, like, you probably get a better product out of it.
Hopefully.
Well, we shall see. We have to see what this game is. But
yeah.
I mean,
we'll
you can say what you want to say, but like Grand Theft Auto and Rockstar, they've not really missed on their games as far as delivering
general reception, other than us, pretty much.
It may not be for you, but for the general public, it's a fantastic sandbox.
It's funny though, because of us, I think I find them okay. I play them; they're all right. I like them for a little bit. I'm not like, I think I'm the highest on them of you guys.
Probably.
But I also, God, I don't really care anymore about their formula. Like, it's so old at this point, sort of Rockstar formula. So hopefully it's different now. Not, and I don't even mean like, thematically, although that is old as well, but just the gameplay and how it is. So we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, so let's see. They talked about so it's going to feature a playable female protagonist for the first time. Its main location is going to be a fictional version of Miami plus the surrounding areas, and their goal actually is to evolve the game over time and adding new cities, which could be interesting. I mean, we've already talked about it at least once on this podcast, but games as a service, it's here to stay. Content updates throughout the life cycle of a game to help sales and prevent resales and stuff like that, and multiplayer. Grand Theft Auto Online obviously still making them a shit ton of money. So
yeah. And when did the Grand Theft Auto 6 come out, or is it 5? 5.
2012, 2013, something.
First time, yeah.
Yeah. So that's 10 years between games, and you're still killing it. That's very impressive.
Yeah, but at the same time, we talked about it. Jim, has a little tirade, understandably so.
Yep. Yes.
Like when you're making money hand over fist, like what's the incentive to really rush your product to the market when?
It's unfortunate. They also, though, didn't they say they're sort of like giving up on Red Dead Online?
Yeah, they were.
And it makes sense if you're not making money on it. Like, throw the resources at the horse that's winning.
It's a shame, because that to me seemed more interesting at that point.
There's not as much you can do with it, I think, is the problem. But yeah, they could have made it good, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yep. All right. And that's going to wrap up this episode of the Gamecast. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Once again, we're on Twitch streaming every Tuesday night starting 8 o'clock, so please join us for the MovieCast and the Gamecast. You can email us, allyoucangeek@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter. We're on Facebook, and we're also on YouTube. This stream right here, the next day, you can watch it all again on YouTube if you like, or watch it on Twitch if you missed it as well, for up to 2 weeks, I believe, on Twitch. So, we'll see you guys soon. That's going to wrap it up. Let's put a bow on it.